Hi, everybody. I just wanted to touch base with you on week 3. I know some of you have been defining the work breakdown structure and working on your work package assignment. Some of the terminology can be a little different, and the work breakdown structure is a really important piece. So I just want to define this for those of you who would like some extra instruction. The work breakdown structure identifies all the tasks in a project. So if you remember from the video, I talked about taking your major project activities and breaking them down into every task from A to Z. Well, that's what the work breakdown structure is. It's sometimes referred to as simply a task list. It turns one large, unique project into small, manageable tasks. So I'm following through on the Fast Forward MBA, and I'm going to go through a couple of these charts with you. So workdown structures can be set up in either graphic or outline form, okay? I'm going to actually skip down to the next page. Oh, it is there. So we've got, here's kind of the work breakdown structure in a chart form, where you've determined, here's this landscape project that you want to do. Here's the 1.0, 2.0, or 3.0. These are your major project activities. And then we're breaking each of those down into more defined tasks, all the way down into every task that it's going to take us to get through the project from A to Z. And you can either do it in this chart form, or you can do it in a list form. Now, the list form is going to look very similar to what you do in week 4, this week, coming up now, for your timeline, because you're going to need to draft your schedule overview, and your schedule overview needs to include all of those steps. So you first go through and break down in your work breakdown structure all of these steps. In this case, it's a home landscape project, if you're looking at the screen here. When you're looking at this home landscape project, there are two definitions. One is what's called a work package, and one is called a summary task. Now, sometimes if you're just looking at this list, it doesn't look like they're any different, but they are. And here's the disclaimer. If you look at the summary tasks, this is something where it is a summary of these tasks that you're going to be completing. You want to plant the grass, but that's a summary. What you really need to do in order to plant the grass is you need to remove the debris, prepare the soil, and then plant the seed, okay? So this is just a summary task. So is this, building a fence, and so is this, constructing the fence. These are the actual tasks that are completed. So these tasks are summarized with, a different description. Now, the work packages are actual tasks that are tangible steps that you're taking. So this is designing a home landscape. That's design work. You might be working inside of a software project. So you're literally working on designing the home task. And then you're putting in the lawn. That's a summary. But you're acquiring the lawn materials. That's a work package. And these are work packages. Installing the sprinkler system is a summary task. These are the actual work packages. They're the actual tasks where you're completing the work. And so when we're looking at this week's template, I pulled it up here so we can look at both. What we want to do is what you want to think about for your overall work breakdown structure is this list or a chart. But what you want to do for the assignment is you want to take one of those work packages, okay? So if we look at the chart, let's look at work package 1.0. Actually, let's look at one of these work packages, installing the sprinkler system. So let's focus on identify sprinkler locations, which is 2.2.1, okay? So on your template, you're just focusing on 2.2.1. Okay, then you're going to decide who is the task assigned to. Maybe it's assigned to Jerry. Maybe the assigned date is the upcoming 18th, whatever that's going to be. Then you're going to put in, your description of the task. completion criteria, when you plan to start, when you plan to finish, and how much is it going to cost just for this task. So if our task name is identify sprinkler locations, okay, so we're identifying the sprinkler locations, and let's say it's going to take us, 1 hour at $60 an hour. So the labor rate is going to be $60. It's going to take 1 hour. And so our planned labor cost just for this 2.2.1 step, if you will, is $60. The purpose of this, it's very important that you break down your entire project into a work breakdown structure. But then it's even more important if you want a successful project that's on time and on budget to take these individual work packages and break them down. If you don't kind of go through this process, you can lose control of a project because some of these work packages may simply be too large to handle, and the project gets out of control. It's hard to monitor. It's hard to execute in a way that is successful. And so if you take this structure and you take the work packages and you break each one of them down into a work package assignment or a work package, you're going to know exactly what has to be done with that particular step, how to do it, who's going to do it, how much it's going to cost. You're going to have control of that project on a very small scale. And this is how you are more successful, by taking each of these small work packages, or this work package might be an $80,000 package. And it's simply too difficult if you don't break it down to control it and monitor it. And so for the purposes of Moodle in this course, you're turning in one work package assignment, okay? Would it be helpful for you if you did a couple? Absolutely. The template's only requiring that you do one. But the important part is that you learn to identify what are your work packages and how to break each one of them down, so that when you're now putting this into a timeline and you now are ready for execution of the project and it takes off, you will be able to control and monitor each one of these individual work packages. So this is a very important step. It can be one of the most critical out of the entire course process. So I just want you to take a look at that, and if you have any more questions, please feel free to reach out to me. If you want to do more than one, it's certainly helpful. It helps you learn what this tool is about and how to effectively use it so that you can be an effective project manager. So I hope that's been helpful. I apologize for the length. Please reach out if you have any other questions. Have a great week.